Hi guys, I've shown you in the past I bought this New Bright C-Ray radio controlled boat in a charity shop, 27 megahertz. It does work. The range is rather limited, but we don't have the original controller, so we can't say whether that's just the controller I've got or whether it is limited. But the last time I took it out, I was very disappointed with the steering. It seemed to be quite intermittent as to whether it would actually work at all or not. So I've decided I'm going to have to go ahead and make it hobby grade. So I've had a little look at it, done some measurements. I've actually taken the rudder off at the moment. That's the motor that does the steering. We're going to take that off. I've 3D printed a little bracket that I hope will fit in the same position with those two screws. I've got a 9-gram servo. This one's metal gear, so that should help prevent the gears stripping when it's doing steering for me. That will fit on there. That little slot there is for the Fly Sky receiver to sit in there. So that should hold it all in position. And got an ESC there. I don't know if that's a good one or not, but I've got that one. We need to do something about the connector that currently goes onto the 27 megahertz receiver board. So I'll sort that out so it'll have a JST connector on it. We'll use that battery that I made. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 nickel metal hydride batteries. So that adds up to 6 volts, which is enough to run this. So I'll stick these together and see if it fits. And then we'll look at sorting out where the ESC is going to fit, how we're going to have the on-off switch, and as I say, how we're going to put a connector on the end of there. I'll save all the parts so that we can restore it to 27 megahertz if I want to donate it back to a charity shop. Well, I've put it together, but I can see that I've made quite a few mistakes. The main mistake is this lever arm. On the original, it was pointing straight forwards, and then that one would go down into it to turn it side to side that way. Yeah, like that. Now I thought I was going to make life easy by just doing it this way, but that's no good, because if I go full, which would that be? Full right, it actually fouls the back of the boat, which is why it was pointing forwards instead of at right angles. So I'll have to have a rethink. This, well, I can just turn that 90 degrees, reprint that so it's the same as that one, or even use that one, I could do, and have that arm sticking straight back that way. Have to move it slightly that way so it's centered. Yeah, oh well, back to the drawing board, get it right next time. This fits together nicely. The receiver sits on there, that sits on there. It's rocking around a bit. I need to get it mounted properly, but the screw holes are the right width apart, so I've got that bit right. But yeah, that's a basic mistake. I just didn't think about that. If I positioned that like that, then it'd try and go right the way back there. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if we don't want to use full steering, that's probably enough. Oh, I haven't done my screws up tight. But yeah, I think I will go back to the way it was originally done. So a bit more 3D printing to go. Steering's working now. That took a few attempts to get it right. But yeah, we're now working. I might actually extend that just about another 2 millimeters, because we could go a little bit further forwards. And that'll give us a little bit, well, we've got enough turn there anyway, I think. But if I wanted a bit more, I can make that just a little bit longer. What I've done is we've got the normal plastic servo arm there, and I've 3D printed an extension with that post going down. That is going to be a weak spot, but I've printed it so the layer lines go straight round there, rather they're not crossways, they're that way round. Unless you're a 3D printer, that won't make any sense to you anyway, from what I just said. I made this bit, the bracket, quite a bit deeper, so it doesn't rock around, it sits on the posts better. Receiver just sits in the slot that I made there. There's a bit of blue tack just to stop it slopping around. So the next thing to do is to have a look at the motor and see if we can solder a suitable JST lead directly on the motor. I think that's the easiest thing to do. And then we can just unplug all the existing leads, leave the existing receiver in there, just disconnected, and we should then be good to go. So we'll have a look at this now. I'm thinking I should be able to just unscrew it. That should just pull straight off, yes. That's the same sort of dog bone connection as I have on my rock crawler on the steering arms. Anyway, I'll take that off. Yeah, I'll just solder a JST lead straight on there. And like that. And we should be good to go. So JST connector in parallel with the existing one, so I can just disconnect it and reconnect the original 27 megahertz receiver. That's the steering module, which we will save, we won't throw away, so again we can restore it back. I haven't done anything with the on-off switch. I was thinking of wiring it into that switch, which I could do, but at the moment I'm not going to. ESC is just tucked on there temporarily. That might be a bad idea. It might upset the signal on the receiver being right next to it. Other than that, I think we're up together. So I've probably got it backwards. I'm just trying to think which way round that is. I suppose I could go and put it in the water butt just to check which way it goes. Right, we're not going to be going anywhere here. We're just checking that we've got forwards and backwards the right way round. Yes, that's forwards. That's backwards. That is right. Yeah, that's left. Right. Okay. Yeah, so we are now hobby grade. Basic hobby grade. As minimal as possible, using the original motor, but we've had to change out the ESC obviously and put a servo in it for the steering. That'll do for now. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment so I know how I'm doing. And somewhere up here there'll be some links to related playlists. Thanks again.